Here I am again, ladies and gentlemen, on this Thursday morning. And I'm thinking about a group of people that are at odds with one another. And they are American citizens. They all love America. And yet they are so equally divided. They each want the basic same things out of life. They want to be happy and thrilled and pink. But they have different views about how to achieve it. And we've tried both parties' representation. We've tried Republican and we've tried Democrat. And neither of them have been able to outdo the other. And yet they are still at odds with one another. That being at odds opened the door for the president that they have now, Donald Trump. A president that the Republicans and Democrats alike are very embarrassed at. He has embarrassed the people of this nation. He has embarrassed this nation across the world. And yet, there are those who embrace, and we can understand that. Perhaps those that embrace this type of activity are themselves guilty of such conduct. And perhaps this is what they mean when you're talking about having something that cause people to sell out. They were saying that perhaps Putin had something on Trump that would cause Trump to sell out this country, just like the senators are selling out this country to stick with Trump. Well, these are all possibilities, ladies and gentlemen. And if they are true, we, the people, are victims. And if they are not true, it's sad that we, the people, think that they might be true. Something is going on that should not be going on. And so I appeal. I come to you and I say to you that out of all of the voices that I have heard that speaks for a divine power, a power that many of us call God, I call it an invisible power I can't see, can't touch, can't feel, can't conjure up with no emotion. And yet the evidence is here all about us. And even the things that I speak before you are directed by that same power. And so I say I'm just as happy and glad that I get a chance to say certain things to you that I have never heard before. And I'm glad because I can play it back and hear it again and again and again and suck in all of its significance. And that's why I'm giving it to you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are paying attention. But what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans and Democrats, we have to come together as a people. Forget Republicanism and your conservativeness. Democrats, forget that liberalism and whatever your Democrats are represented by. Forget that donkey and that elephant. Forget it. We are all one people, American citizens. And it is not about beating Trump. That's the least of our concerns, beating Trump. Our concern is that we see ourselves in this position. We were vulnerable, and we were played like the casino plays those who go there. And we know it. We got the evidence that shows it. What are we going to do about it? Why are you divided? At a time like this, it doesn't matter. We must come together. I'm not just talking about making things a little bit better, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about being as perfect as we can be. Republicans and Democrats, we the people, not of the billionaires class, but they are welcome. Not of the millionaires class, but they are welcome. But we are the human race here in America, with all of the resources that have been given to America by that power that we cannot label anything other than God. And the skills and gifts that we as individuals have that allows us to engage our gifts in extracting from these resources all of the wonderful things that we have determined are essential for our, not just our survival, but for our enjoyment and our pleasure. Those gifts are given to us that we might exercise them, and that none of us would ever be without food, clothing, shelter, education, and health care, and guaranteed to each other by each of us engaging ourselves in the process. So as long as the God Almighty can provide those resources, whatever they might be, and give us the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom to recognize and to identify and to use, then we don't have anything to worry about at all. So I'm saying to the Republicans and the Democrats, let us change our mindset. Now, as I have often said, especially of late, that this started a long time ago, and it was been passed on down and passed on down, and each time it's been having a chance to grow. But now it must stop. The buck stops here. We cannot blame those of the past, but we sure will not be blamed in the future, because the buck stops here. Some people might say they are not responsible for anything. Well, I say that we the people are responsible for everything. The hell we live in, we are responsible for it. And if we're going to live in a heavenly way of life, we are going to be responsible for it. So I'm saying to the Republicans, I'm saying to the Democrats, let us come together and decide that we are going to create for ourselves a new way of life. We're not going to go back to the old thing, and we're not even worried about Trump in any of else. In fact, we're not worried about anything. We are focusing on a brand new thing, the thing that we are going to generate. And ladies and gentlemen, just want to say to you that I've been spending a lot of time on these things, and I'm sure many of you have too. And even though you might not have, just by thinking about it right now brings about whole new ideas about how these things can be achieved. Well, the only thing that I know, ladies and gentlemen, is that it can be achieved. And I know a fail-proof way. And that's the way I've been speaking for the past 36 years. And I've got as many posts here and there for anybody that might be concerned. Not that you're trying to utilize them or put me up as a person that should be doing any more than anybody else. No. I just want you to know that it's simple. It's simple. And anybody who would have love in their heart for people and love enough to stand up for them, that they are treated fairly and justly and willing to give up their lives, resisting anything that would try to bring them and keep them down, is a person that can speak for me. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, this has been and will be Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.